It was nearly midnight when Noah Brooks, a 36-year-old single dad, finished his shift at the downtown Austin auto shop. The streets were quiet, the city humming in its late-night rhythm, but Noah wasn't rushing home. He liked these peaceful drives, windows cracked, warm Texas air, and the low hum of his old Chevy pickup. As he turned past a trendy bar strip, something unusual caught his eye. A woman sitting alone on the sidewalk in a shimmering silver dress. Barefoot, her arms wrapped tightly around herself. Noah slowed down. Something in his gut told him to stop. She looked lost mentally and physically. He parked and approached cautiously. "Ma'am, you okay?" Her head lifted slowly, eyes red, mascara running. "I can't find my phone," she slurred. "They left me." He knelt beside her, concern outweighing caution. "Let's get you somewhere safe," he said, offering his flannel shirt without a second thought. She hesitated, studying his face, sexting judgment, a price, or something worse. But Noah simply stood there, patient, calm, extending kindness like it was instinct. "You're not like them," she murmured. "Nope, I'm a dad. I know better," he replied, helping her up. He noticed the pain behind her eyes, kind, not caused by alcohol alone. She stumbled into his truck, mumbling her name. Claire. No last name, no details, just Claire. Noah took her to the Hope Room, a nearby women's shelter he once helped rebuild after a fire. As they arrived, Claire looked at the modest building and frowned. "Is this a hotel?" she asked, dazed. "Safer," Noah said gently. The staff recognized him and quickly took her in without questions. Before going inside, she held his hand. "Why? Are you helping me?" she asked quietly. Noah replied, "Because someone helped me once, and I never got to say thank you." Then he drove off. Back home, Noah checked on his 8-year-old son Eli, who was fast asleep under a blanket of dinosaur. He kissed his forehead, sat on the couch, and exhaled deeply. His life was a patchwork of routines: early school drop-offs, greasy hands, and bedtime stories. He hadn't planned on any surprises. Yet, that woman's eyes stayed with him. They carried the same pain he once saw in the mirror after Eli's mother left them without warning 5 years ago. Noah never drank, never dated. His world was simple: fix cars, raise Eli, pay bills, repeat. But Claire was different. Not just because she was elegant or lost, but because she hadn't expected kindness and didn't know how to receive it. That haunted him. He didn't even know her last name. Still, he felt like he'd met someone significant, even if just for a night. He tucked that thought away, unaware his kindness had already rippled into motion. Across town, Claire sat on a shelter bed, sober tears replacing drunken ones. She stared at the flannel shirt wrapped around her like armor. She hadn't meant to drink that much, but the corporate gala had been unbearable. Fake smiles, greedy partners, and the worst, seeing her late father's name used like a marketing brand instead of a legacy. Her company, Harrington Innovations, was built from her father's sacrifice, one she could never fully repay. And tonight, she just wanted to disappear for a while. But when her driver abandoned her and her assistant stopped answering, she realized how isolated success had made her. Then came Noah, a man who didn't know her wealth, didn't want anything, and treated her like a person, not a position. That kind of man was rare. She reached into her bag and pulled out an old photo, her father in military fatigues, standing with a group of soldiers. One face looked oddly familiar. The next morning, Noah returned to work early. The sun was still rising as he pulled into the garage lot, sipping coffee from a chipped thermos. He didn't expect the line of black SUVs that rolled in behind him. Out stepped a sharply dressed woman in heel stone, cold sober now, hair tied back, eyes clear. Claire. But this wasn't the lost woman from last night. This was someone in charge. Heads turned. His coworkers whispered. "Is that the CEO from the news?" one asked. Claire walked straight to Noah. "Can we talk?" she asked. He wiped his hands nervously. "Sure." She pulled out the same photograph she stared at last night. "Is this you?" she asked. He squinted at the image. It was from 15 years ago, Afghanistan. His old unit. Her father stood front and center. "I took this," Noah said slowly. Claire swallowed hard. "That man was my father. He died protecting people. He told me to find someone like him." Claire told Noah the full story. Her father, Captain Harrington, used to talk about a soldier who once pulled him from an ambushed vehicle under fire. A man who refused awards, who disappeared after the war. That man, she believed, was Noah. She searched for years, piecing together names and faces. And then, last night, you helped me. No questions, no expectations. Noah leaned back, stunned. "I was just doing what's right." Claire smiled gently. "Exactly. That's why I was supposed to find you." She offered him something unexpected. Head of security at her tech firm. Full benefits, relocation package, and a private scholarship fund for Eli. Noah blinked. "Why me?" Claire answered simply, "Because fate brought you back, just like my father said it would." The garage was silent. Noah looked at his hands, greasy, tired, honest. For the first time in years, someone saw him. Really saw him, and it felt right. The following Monday, Noah stood at the gates of Harrington Innovations, holding his son Eli's small hand. Claire had sent a car to pick them up, but Noah insisted on driving himself. He wanted to see the place with his own eyes, first wanted Eli to feel safe. Towering glass walls reflected the Texas sky, but what impressed Noah more was the employee daycare right at the entrance. Claire greeted them personally, dressed casually now in jeans and a navy blazer. She knelt down and shook Eli's hand. "Hi, I'm Claire. I heard your dad's kind of a superhero." Eli smiled shyly. "He fixes everything, even the toaster." Claire laughed. "Perfect, because we've got some pretty broken things around here." She led them inside, where a special office was being prepared, not corporate, not flashy, but practical, a command center, designed by Claire herself, built for one man, Noah Brooks. As days turned into weeks, Noah's presence changed more than just protocols. He didn't carry a gun or bark orders. Instead, he talked to people, security guards, janitors, even the cafeteria team. His army background gave him quiet authority. His kindness earned him loyalty. Claire watched him from afar, sometimes amazed by how natural he seemed in a world so unlike his garage. One afternoon, she invited him to a board meeting. "Just observe," she said, but when a heated argument broke out over staff layoffs, it was Noah who calmly asked, "Have we considered investing in them instead of replacing them?" Silence fell. Claire stared, a slow smile forming. The board didn't know it yet, but change was coming, and it was wearing boots and a flannel shirt. Later, she found a sticky note left on her desk. It read, "It's not just what we build, it's who we build it for." She knew it was him. Outside of work, their bond deepened. Claire joined Noah and Eli for weekend breakfasts, learning to flip pancakes like a pro. Eli began calling her Miss C, and she started leaving books for him with little notes inside. One night, after a long charity gala, Claire found herself sitting beside Noah on a quiet bench under string lights. "You didn't have to help me that night," she said softly. Noah shrugged. "Didn't feel like a choice." She looked at him. "You've changed my whole life." He turned, his voice low. "You gave me a chance I never asked for, but maybe always hoped for." There was a pause, charged with something tender. Neither moved closer, but both knew this wasn't just fate. It was timing, healing, and trust built slowly, like a good engine. No rush, no noise, just steady momentum, towards something real. Then came the storm. A cyber attack hit the company's data center. Security systems failed, access doors locked out staff, and sensitive files were suddenly compromised. The building was in chaos. Claire was in a strategy meeting when the lights flickered and alarms blared. "Where's Noah?" she asked instantly, but he was already moving, calm, focused, issuing backup protocols and rerouting power manually. No panic, no orders, just action. Within 20 minutes, systems were contained. Data was saved and employees were escorted out safely. Later, as reporters gathered, Claire stood at the podium and surprised everyone by stepping aside. "I didn't save this company today," she said. "He did." She pointed to Noah, who stood in the back, arms folded. The crowd erupted in applause. Noah, ever humble, only nodded. But later, Claire would tell him, "My father would have trusted you with his life, and I trust you with mine." That night, after tucking Eli into bed at Claire's guest house, Noah sat on the porch. Claire joined him with 2 mugs of tea. The air smelled like cedar and rain. "You ever wonder why you?" she asked. He chuckled. All the time she looked at him. "You were a stranger once. Now I can't imagine my life without you in it." He stared at his hands, grease-stained, steady, loyal. "I don't know much about futures," he said, "but I know how to stay." Claire reached into her pocket and handed him something small. It was his old army photo, restored and framed. "I kept it on my desk from the moment I confirmed who you were. I think I was waiting for you before I even knew it." Noah looked at her, emotion behind his calm eyes. "Then I guess I was just waiting to be found." Months passed. The company thrived. Eli was accepted into a prestigious STEM program, fully funded. Noah now wore a suit over his flannel when needed, but still carried a wrench in his bag, just in case Claire and Noah didn't put a name to what they were becoming. They didn't need to. It was there, in the quiet dinners, the long walks. The way she glanced at him during tense meetings, and how he always parked his truck right next to her sleek black sedan, like they belonged together. One evening, Eli asked, "Miss C, are you my dad's girlfriend?" She smiled and ruffled his hair. "I'm your friend, and your dad's very good friend." Noah laughed from the doorway. "We're figuring it out." And they were. Together, a single night of kindness had become a lifetime of possibility. In a world of noise and transactions, Noah's silence had spoken the loudest. Love doesn't ask, it acts.